Hello everyone, I'm Khanhvy and welcome back to the channel. Lately, I've been seeing a tons of posts on Reddit from users who just can't get their CrewAI coding agents to actually run. Errors about missing Docker, virtual environment mismatches, tools not installing, libraries, you name it. That's why today's tutorial focuses on walking you through the setup I use in VSCode Docker desktop on my local machine. By the end, you'll have a fully functional CrewAI agent that not only writes code but also executes code and saves the result to your local directory. No more copy paste code around. Let's dive in. Before I get into the coding tutorial, I just want to answer quickly some of the questions I see people have either on Reddit or on CrewAI community. First question is, why my coding agent did not run the code? To answer this question, I think first of all, check, do you have allow execution is equal to true? If you already set it equal to true, next question, do you have your Docker installed anywhere locally if you run your agent locally? If you use virtual machine on EC2, do you have Docker installed? And then the next part to check is, do you have the right tool? For example, do you have the code interpreter tool? The next question is, my agent after running code, it cannot write the output. That means you don't have the right tool. So make sure that you have the code interpreter together with the file writer tool to make sure that your agent can execute the code and also then run and output the code. We'll get to the details in the tutorial now. Let's get started with the best practice, create a virtual environment. For this to be able to run, we need Python 3.11, so let's do it. So we are going to do conda create, let's call it like CrewAI env Python equal to 3.11. Running, proceed, yes. Okay, now we have it already. Let's do conda activate. What do we name it? CrewAI env. Okay, so if you can see it here, CrewAI env, we have it. Now we are going to install dependencies. We are going to do pip install r requirement.txt, which is the file right here. We are going to install CrewAI versus CrewAI tools. Great, we have all of this installed. Now we are ready to design our own agent. After we have the pip installed, we also need to import these dependencies from CrewAI tools. We need this tool to do the code interpreter, and we also need this tool later on after we have the coding agent to generate code. We wanted to write any outcome, any result, we will need this tool. And then from .env, we need to do this because we are going to store our OpenAI key in that .env. For this though, you can do any model that you want. You can also call Llama and just do Llama. But because this is the coding, maybe for your purposes, large language model like OpenAI or Claude should maybe work better. So it depends on your use case. These are the tools we will be using. Again, we're using two tools. We use CodeInterpreterTool and then FileWriterTool. Now we are going to define our agent. So as we already know at this point, if you don't, check out one of my video about agents in CrewAI, what is the particular part that make up an agent and how do we define agents efficiently. So in here I have a role will be like a role play specific. I say this agent is a Python code execution specialist. And the goal of this is to take any coding request, natural language coding request, generate and run a Python script that solves it, and then also persist any files as needed. The backstory is you are an expert in Python developer, execution runtime. Your job is to translate user prompt into a working script. And then, run both code and the result. The tool here, I give it two tools, the code tool and the writing tool. The code tool to be able to interpret the code, and then this is to be able to write the outcome. This step is super important. Allow code execution if we want the agent to have the ability to run the code. And then also, this one is to control if you want to have more nuance into the answers. So basically, this one will be running, and in order to turn this one to true, you also need some sort of Docker. So in this tutorial, I'll be using Docker desktop that will be downloaded through the website, and then you will see the little icon here as Docker. Make sure you have Docker desktop running at the time that you are running this agent. Very, very important. Or if you run it on any EC2 virtual machine, you can install Docker in Ubuntu and it should work instead of having a Docker desktop here. And then after we have that task, with the task, what is the description of the task? I say user have question, and then you will be generate a Python code to satisfy that question. And then you will execute it. You will write out any output files using this FileWriterTool. So make sure that you be specific to the task, to the goal, backstory, the role, so that AI can understand the task and clearly execute it. The expected output, I want it to, the actual code we use to get to answer, and then I want that to write to the file. Here that I have the crew, I wrap it under this crew with agents, task. The process is sequential. This time I only have one crew, so it doesn't really matter. Variable is equal to true. Kick off question where this is enter that my question, which is the natural language prompt to let the agents translate back to the code. All right, now we have that. Let's try to run. We're gonna do Python test.py. By the way, this is gonna be my question. So I say, stimulate a rock, paper, scissors game between two players for a given number of rounds. Write the script to a .py file, run the script, and then write the outcome to a JSON file. So there's 3 tasks, right? They will be writing the script, they will be running the script, and they will be writing that outcome to the JSON file. Let's see how the agent performs. I'll be entering my question here. Okay, after I entering my question, you can kind of see the execution started here. Let's start thinking in process. I start seeing my outcome.json here already. Okay, this is still thinking in process. Oh, this is a tool output here. Nice, so I have a rock, paper, scissors.py here, which is all of the code that it gave me. And then this is the outcome that print out. So everything is basically running, execute by the agent, writing on the output. I don't have to copy and paste from the terminal and then put it in another file. Depending on the task, you can have multiple agents that seamlessly work together. This one execute the code, give the output as the input for another agent so it can do the work. Let me know if you have any feedback, comment, what you want to see next in CrewAI. Thank you.